And tell me about your little brood that you got going, the Goa'uld. You know, I'm constantly seeing photos of you guys and Peter Williams and Cliff. Tell me about that when you guys got started.
Well, I always get mixed up as to which was the very first convention where we were all four together. Suanne, was it?
It was GateCon.
It was GateCon. It was GateCon because I remember you and I went for lunch.
Yes.
And we went to Granville Island. And it was just a coincidence that I happened to drive past Suanne. Her Lyft driver or Uber driver had dropped her in the wrong place. And so she's walking through Granville Island. And I'm like, hop in. And so we go for lunch. And I remember sitting down and just having a blast. And Suanne, I remember you telling me, my husband was like, you're going for lunch with this person. You don't know her very well. How's that going to go? And we just had the best time.
Yeah.
And, Peter, I'd known Peter for some years, and I'd done an episode of Da Vinci's Inquest, and he was in it and had been very supportive of my performance. So he didn't even actually remember that performance, but I remember how kind he was to me that day on set, because it was shortly after I'd moved to Vancouver. And because he's Jamaican and my father was Jamaican, we've always had an affinity that way. And then I'm telling you, again, that word alchemy, like the four of us in a room, like it just was like meant to be, absolutely meant to be. And Cliff and Suanne obviously have a long history and a great friendship, and both from South Africa. And there was just something that we clicked and we were friends, like immediately.
Yeah.
That's how I felt anyway.
Same. No, 100% second that. And I remember after our wonderful lunch, it was an amazing restaurant on a bridge. Like I do sort of like incredible views. And then you took me shopping in this really funky, amazing district. And I bought two cool pieces of clothing that I still have. And same, it has always just been easy, effortless. And then we kind of were all together in New Zealand, I think, Australia and New Zealand. And we really bonded then. And then, of course, Kalmar happened, which was like, we were just, and I'm, of course, now in hindsight, so grateful we had that, because that was before the pandemic, and obviously it was the last time we were all together.
Yeah.
And we just had these hilarious, 3 days. Do you remember us filming in the hotel corridors?
Peter had gone to bed and I had an injury. So a guest had lent me her wheelchair so that I could be shuttled around the convention in the wheelchair. So it was sitting outside my room, and we had all I have pictures of us lounging on hotel beds all together. And then we were all kind of going back to our rooms. And then, oh my God, Suanne and Cliff got a hold of this wheelchair and just started doing the most hilarious routines up and down the hallway. And I thought, we are going to get we're going to get, slaps on the wrist from the hotel. But Peter was in his room. He didn't hear us, apparently. There's videos of those pranks and just.
Come on, dear. Listen to Mother. Oh, quite heavy there. Let's go and find your sister. Where is she?
And then even after we had all finally gone, we laughed so freaking hard. I was weeping. Yeah. I go back to my room, and then I'm like, oh, maybe I'll bring my wheelchair inside. And I lean out my door, and there's Cliff leaning out his door because he was going to come and grab the wheelchair. And we were like, oh my God, it was so funny.
And the funniest thing also was just watching him completely lose it. So, I've posted the videos before, but I will happily post them again after this interview, or maybe send them to you, David, and you can put them on your show. There are about 3, I think. And Jacqueline doing brilliant filming work on all of them. At one point, we were so tired, Jacqueline, she was like, I'm so tired. Art is hard.
Don't disturb the customers, dear. Hello, Mother. Right. Stop following us. He can walk after all.
But it's true. And also because Cliff, he certainly on the show, he was terrifying. He's such a brilliant actor. And, very intimidating and scary in his character. And then but just the funniest, most hilarious, most fun, warm, cool person, with a very interesting history, and and his love for life was just absolutely infectious. So to see him in those light moments, it's just such a contradiction to what you see on screen. He's played across his career, he's played really scary, kind of mean characters, and this other side of him is just so fabulous to see.
That man knew how to live.
Oh yeah,
You couldn't not say that about you. Couldn't, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And always remembered. Do you know what I mean? I can't. It's so funny because weirdly, I was going through my phone the other day, and the four of us have a WhatsApp group called the Other Fab Four.
That's great.
And I found the message of me leaving the message for Jacqueline and Peter, where I was just like, I can't believe I'm having to say this, but this is what's happened. And it's still sometimes I'm like, I can't quite believe I'm never going to hear him laughing or talk to him again. But the comfort is that he went doing something he loved, and he did live his life every single day. He lived life, Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, no, his performance, we had a preview of him in season 5 with Summit and Last Stand. It was they called it Goa'uld Mardi Gras, but it really was like Goa'uld auditions in terms of what was going to be happening for future seasons were they ever to come back, and they were deciding who was going to potentially be the next big thing. And then season 6 starts, and O'Neill gets captured, and we see an outline of him at first, and later in the episode he walks into this room. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about this. And I, as an audience member, Stargate was light and fluffy and fun, but he walked in and I was scared. I was like, Jack's not going to get out of this unscathed. This is going to be bad. And that was Cliff's gravitas.
Yeah.
He wore those outfits did not wear him. He wore those outfits. And you know what I mean by saying that. And, it's just this energy, he could turn that thing on. And it was like, I'm terrified of this guy, and he was just a powerhouse. He could pull anything off.
Yeah.
I met him on the set of Continuum. And so my introduction to him was being one of a multitude of Goa'ulds standing there. And he had to have a presence that dominated this entire room and this entire group. And I was blown away. I was like, this guy has got stage presence like crazy. And the gravitas is a great word for it. He really commanded the space, and I admired his work immediately.
Thanks for watching this clip from Dial the Gate. You can find the full live stream shows on our YouTube channel or visit dialthegate.com for the complete schedule. See you on the other side.